Many people hold the belief that there is only one true passion waiting for them, a single predetermined purpose that they must discover in order to live a fulfilled life. This belief suggests that passion is something we're born with, a calling that's already set for us, and all we have to do is find it. However, this view is quite limiting and doesn't reflect the reality of how passion works. In truth, there isn't just one thing you're destined to be passionate about. In fact, you probably have multiple potential passions, and it's entirely possible to have more than one passion at the same time. Many successful individuals are living proof of this. The key here is to realize that passion is not fixed. It can evolve, change, and expand as you explore different parts of yourself and the world around you. If you're someone who feels lost or stuck when it comes to finding your passion, there are just two critical steps you need to take. The first is to change how you get your dopamine. Dopamine is a neurotransmitter that acts as the brain's natural motivator. It's the chemical that drives us to do things, providing a sense of pleasure and satisfaction when we accomplish something. Without dopamine, you wouldn't feel motivated to do anything. Even basic survival tasks like eating wouldn't seem appealing, no matter how hungry you were. In the past, dopamine was something we had to work for. It was tied to effort and creativity. Whether it was building a house, tending to crops, or crafting something with our hands, we had to engage in activities that produced tangible results. During these tasks, our brains released dopamine, making us feel good about the work we were doing. This constant cycle of effort, achievement, and reward naturally led people to become passionate about their work. It wasn't because they were born with an inherent love for farming or crafting. It was the act of creation that fueled their passion. However, things have changed dramatically in today's world. Dopamine is now incredibly easy to get, and we no longer need to create something in order to experience it. Instead, we can flood our brains with dopamine through consumption. We can binge watch TV shows for hours, endlessly scroll through social media, or order gourmet food delivered to our doorstep without leaving the couch. These activities trigger the release of dopamine, but they don't require any effort on our part. As a result, consumption has become the primary way most people experience dopamine. The problem with this shift from creation to consumption is that it doesn't lead to passion, it leads to addiction. When you get most of your dopamine from activities like watching TV, playing video games, or eating junk food, you become addicted to those activities. You're not passionate about them, but you continue doing them because they provide an easy temporary hit of dopamine. On the other hand, when your dopamine comes from creating something, whether it's art, music, writing, or any other form of creation, it has the potential to develop into a passion. You become passionate about painting because you're actively creating something, not just consuming someone else's creation. This brings us to the first step you need to take if you want to discover your passion. Reduce your consumption. You need to cut back on activities that provide dopamine through consumption, such as watching too much TV, playing excessive video games, or constantly eating junk food. By reducing the amount of dopamine you get from these activities, you create a void that can only be filled by finding new sources of dopamine through creation. Once you've taken the first step and scaled back on consumption, the second step is to expose yourself to a wide variety of creative activities. This is crucial because it gives you the opportunity to discover what truly excites you. There's no magic formula for this part. It's simply about trying new things and seeing what sticks. One of the easiest ways to get started is to search online for a list of hobbies. For example, you can type "list of hobbies" into Google or check out Wikipedia's page on hobbies. Browse through the list and make note of anything that catches your interest, even if it's something you've never tried before. Once you have a list of potential hobbies, pick one to try out. Don't overwhelm yourself by trying to dive into too many things at once. Focus on one hobby at a time and give it a fair chance. The key here is to allow yourself enough time to see whether this hobby could turn into a passion. If you've successfully completed step one by reducing your dopamine intake from consumption, you'll naturally feel drawn to researching and experimenting with your chosen hobby. Let's say you decide to explore photography. You'll likely start by looking up tutorials online, watching videos and playing around with a camera, or even just your phone. As you delve deeper into this hobby, you'll begin to understand whether or not it truly excites you. If it does, congratulations. You found something you're passionate about. If not, no worries. Simply move on to the next hobby on your list and repeat the process. It's important to remember that not every hobby will turn into a passion, and that's okay. The point is to keep exploring different forms of creation until you find something that resonates with you. If after trying several hobbies, you still don't feel passionate about anything, it may be a sign that you haven't fully followed the first step. In that case, try cutting back even more on consumption and give yourself more room to engage in creative activities. Finding your passion doesn't have to be complicated. It's about reducing the amount of dopamine you get from passive consumption and giving yourself the space to explore new forms of creation. By following these two simple steps, you'll be well on your way to discovering multiple passions that bring fulfillment and joy into your life. Thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to give it a like and subscribe to the channel so you won't miss new content. Let me know in the comments what you found most interesting. Have a great day and see you in the next videos.